Pemi Loop Wilderness section of White Mtns Natl Forest in New Hampshire, doing a trail called the Pemi Loop, 30+ miles, about 1.5 miles in. It's been flat because it has paralleled the Pemi River. But you see that bottom one, Liberty Spring Trail, 5.5 miles. It's uphill the whole way. Here we go. It is getting steeper and rockier. You can never tell depth or elevation on these cameras, but we're getting into the sucking wind mode. So far so good though. How to quickly gain elevation. Lots of stairs. It's the only way you'd get up here though. It's steep. Been navigating mud across this top flat area before it goes up to Mount Flume. It's going to be the first 4,000 foot summit, Mount Flume. We're almost there. Little to no view. Somehow sneak across these rocks, those trees, up to there, and you can see a bunch of nothing for the most part. Oh well. This is Mount Lafayette in that cloud. Clouds are breaking a little bit so you can see part of it. You can't see the summit. That's the far end, the northern end of the Franconia Ridge. So we're going to be on top of that thing tomorrow. But these clouds are like, most of them are below us. See the blue sky up here. But this lower cloud cover is totally messing up our view. But Lafayette occasionally appears as the wind blows the clouds off of it. Too bad we can't get a better view. There's a good shot of Mount Flume, which we came over to get to where we're at now, summit of Mount Liberty. We have arrived at the Liberty Springs campsite, tent site. It's nice, 10 platforms, which at least gets you off the ground. So we're gonna set up, relax, recover, and eat some dinner. And hope it doesn't rain, but it's supposed to. 70% chance tomorrow. Goodbye. Alright, we're back up on the Franconia Ridge Trail. Started the day, we had to go 0.3 miles out of our way yesterday, all down to the tent site. It was very steep up to start the day. Thank gosh, it was only 0.3. So we're ultimately headed beyond Mount Lafayette, which is basically the northern end of the Franconia Ridge, which is the iconic viewing ridge line of this area. But we're on the AT, and if you look way down there in the middle of your screen, the white blazes. Always up or down just as steep, but it's constant, so it becomes a slow go. Just came off Mount Lincoln, heading towards Lafayette, which is the big boy at the northern end of the Franconia Ridge. It absolutely freaking poured between Haystack and Lincoln, so we are drenched. but right now it's a break in the rain, but obviously still completely clouded in. So we've probably got about 3/4 of a mile to Lafayette, which is somewhere in that cloud. Summit of Mount Lafayette, the northern edge of the Franconia Ridge. Got 3.9 miles to go to our campsite. It's been a slow go, nasty day. Moving on. All right, that's my view. We're actually gonna end up way over there on our last day, and barely in the center of your screen, that's Mount Garfield, where we're gonna be heading tonight. So making progress. Looks like the clouds are getting dark again. Bummer. Gene's only about 30 feet, careful, about 30 feet in front of me. Just trying to show you how steep this is, because the camera can never show that, the depth of it. This thing has got to be at a 65-degree angle, no exaggeration. It is steep. Mount Garfield summit, another 4,000 footer. Kicked our butt getting up here, and a thunderstorm poured rain again. Got soaked a second time. We got about 1/4 to a half a mile down to the campsite. We're ready. All right, we're in the tent. Today is probably the worst hiking day ever. We got soaked twice. Everything is at a minimum damp now. There's your mother.
And freezing. And wet.
So it was ugly. And I'm half naked because I'm trying to dry out and my toes are still pruny. So anyway, we'll leave you all to it. We're going to sleep. Gene is only about 20 feet from me. This has got to be 75-degree rock slide. Down, basically slid down on our butts. Slow go. Oh my gosh, a view. Beautiful day today. Hopefully we'll get some things dried out if we can get into camp in time. Coming into your picture right now, I don't know if I can zoom in on it. Yeah, in the middle of your screen. That's the Galehead hut, one of the AMC huts. We've stayed there before. We're just gonna go by it today. And I think beyond that, I think this big old hog is South Twin, which we're gonna have to go up. So for those of you who haven't been up here, the Appalachian Mountain Club runs these huts. There's 6 or 8 of them. This is the Galehead hut. It's a pay to stay. It's not cheap either. It's over $100 per person per night. That gives you breakfast and dinner and facilities, which is nice, water. So we've stopped here en route to our final destination today. All right, we're about 1/3 of the way up this thing. It's a huge rock scramble. It's going up. It's on the AT and hasn't broken off yet. And we are going down. Alright, so there's Lafayette. Came down that yesterday. Garfield, which is right there. Came down that part way. Last look before we leave South Twin. Pretty amazing. We've done all this that's in the screen now. We're on day 3 of 4. So this is where the Appalachian Trail breaks off with the Pemi Loop. My shadow's probably in the way. But what's really cool, I'll show you the Franconia Ridge. Those two humps there are Mount Flume and Mount Liberty we did on day 1. And we stayed at a campsite not far from Liberty. And we went across. This is Haystack. The middle of your screen now is Mount Lincoln, and there's Mount Lafayette. That's the Franconia Ridge where it was pouring rain the whole time we were on it. Okay, the mountain in the foreground is a cut through, that's Owl's Head. And this one in the background, that's Mount Garfield. We also went over that yesterday and stayed at the Garfield campsite. So today, we've made our way all around this stuff. Right up there is South Twin, and we've come down off that to this point. All right, I feel like I'm in a the shelter. I think it's a mini cabin. The Gaio campsite off the Pemi Loop. So check out this source of filtered water. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but that's it. It's the morning of the last day. Sunrise coming. Last day, headed up Mount Bond. I'm looking back directly, kind of the summit is in the cloud. That's South Twin we came across yesterday, and we came across here, and the windy video that you couldn't hear me because it was so freaking windy. We came across this alpine zone meadow and then went down that into our campsite last night. Another nice day. All right, we're at the summit of Mount Bond, and we're going down through here, BONDCLIFFs. It's supposed to be just amazing views from there, but they aren't amazing from here. I'll show you in a minute. I won't talk. You probably won't be able to hear me with the wind, but I believe that's Mount Washington under the cloud. There's my lovely wife. chop straight down from that foreground point, kind of where we started. And these two humps are Flume and Liberty. We've done. Takes you over to the Franconia Ridge, Haystack. Lincoln to the left of those slides. It's Lafayette and the cloud. And we went over, down, then back up. That's Garfield. We went down, and then back up. That's South Twin, just under that cloud. Swinging back around, and I'm approaching Mount Washington again, which is right there under that cloud. Amazing. That's the last climb in front of us. Go down the back side of that, and it's probably 6 or 8 miles to the finish. We're at the BONDCLIFF summit, and that in the center of your screen, you probably can't make out what looks like the towers. That's got to be the weather observatory at the top of Mount Washington. So it's a pretty amazing view of Mount Washington today from up here. Has miraculously died, thank God. There's the river that we're going to parallel to finish up. So at the end of that river is where we started. It's Loon Mountain Ski Area in the background. Well, we went from the end of that river up along here. One last review. Coming into view now, Mount Flume. That's Mount Liberty. Went up both of those on day 1. Day 2 we came across. Now you're hitting Franconia Ridge. To the left of those brown slides is Mount Lincoln. To the right is Mount Lafayette. Down that, still day 2. Pouring rain. Day 3, still day 2. Garfield. That's as far as I can show you because another mountain gets in the way. Coming off BONDCLIFF has been relatively easy, actually. Thank God. On our last day with very tired legs. It walked through the woods, as you can see. There's real steep areas, but they're short-lived. And most of it has been a gradual descent as we work our way down to the Pemi River, which we will follow back to the car. Lunch stop. That's the Pemi River through those trees. This is just a feeder stream off the mountain we're sitting next to for our lunch. 3.5 miles to go, and the Pemi Loop will be complete. And we're ready for a cold beverage.